What's going on, everybody? Today, in this episode of the BTB Show, we're going to be talking about Mr. Jaylen Brown, the perennial number two, who everyone said could not be a number one on a good team, but apparently is a number one on a very good team. Because the Celtics are currently second in the East, and Jaylen Brown is averaging, let me make sure I get this right, he's putting up a solid 29.4. We'll be nice to him. We'll say 30 points. 6.5 rebounds and 5 assists. So, Omar, go ahead and start us off. What are your thoughts on how Jaylen Brown has been, how good he's been this season?
So, so just to get a landscape of what's going on, Jaylen Brown, again, what Max said, 29.4, 6.5 points per game. First of all, he's top 10 in averaging points per game. He's at number 6, while also being at 49.1%. I mean, that's damn near that's half, right? And I mean, look, I'm gonna look throughout the games. Miami won, Indy won. That's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven in their last. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, 9 in their last 10 that they won. No, 8 in their last 10. 8 in their last 10. 8 in their last 10 that they've won their games. And it's not even that they're facing bad teams. They won against Toronto, which was the team that was directly under them in the standings before last night, of course. Chicago, who's been relatively good. The Clippers, who have been on fire, that you'll hear about on our previous episode. Sacramento, they've been the bottom of the league. Let's not glaze that. Utah, Portland. And they lost to Portland. Wow. Okay, never mind. But I think they have been a solid team around Jaylen Brown. Everybody has been saying that he can't use his left, he can't do this, he can't do that. But I've had the feeling that Jaylen Brown could be a number one on the squad since it was like one or two playoffs ago where he absolutely took over and was able to win that game for them. So I think Jaylen Brown has been showing this throughout his career. It hasn't been on the scale because of obviously the people that he plays with, Jason Tatum, Derek White, and all these amazing players that are around him. So Jaylen Brown for MVP, man. I'm here for it.
All right, Earl, what do you got to add on to that?
Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown this season has been absolutely incredible. This is a guy, honestly, I can admit when I'm wrong. I kind of counted out the Celtics season a little bit. Going into the season, I thought losing Tatum would be too much of a toll on their offensive system, but obviously that's been proven wrong, especially losing guys like Porzingis as well. You don't really have the biggest center presence there. You got some guys like, who's over there? Sorry, I'm a casual. Kata, and there's
I
somebody
think
else.
there's
Anyways, but
They
yeah,
kind of just play small ball when Kate is not in there. They don't really play guard
true.
so much.
That is true, but like honestly, Jaylen Brown, he's been impressive, man. I think not only his on the court game, I think his personality has grown a lot too. And I'm not gonna be one of the guys who says, "Oh, it doesn't work with him and Tatum," because obviously Tatum's able to produce these high numbers next to Jaylen Brown. What I really want to see is Jaylen Brown kind of use his experience of growth to learn how to play better next to Jason Tatum as well when he gets back. And I think this overall experience for him could make them a better team in the future. So obviously we knew going into this season that they're one of the highest paid duos, if not the highest paid duos in the NBA. And with that, it takes a collective effort to win games. So Jaylen Brown kind of holding it down at the third seed right now in the NBA, I think it's nothing short of impressive. And honestly, I know there's a lot of jokes about his hair and stuff like that. As a guy who's on the same range as far as hair level, I get it, man. I personally want to use those dyes and sprays, man. It's not good for your health. But other than that, I think Jaylen Brown's having a tremendous season. Also, I think his off the court personality is kind of chilling. Like he starts streaming. I think the fans are kind of buying more into him as like a superstar potential player, which I don't think he had that type of motion before the season. And I'm kind of glad he's getting his recognition. So shout out to Jaylen Brown. MVP conversation, probably top 5, in
yeah.
my opinion.
I think, please correct me if I'm wrong. Did somebody say like in his pre-draft that he was like super unmarketable or
I have
something
no
along those
idea.
lings? I
Maybe.
gotta look this up, but
You can
that's
go ahead and try to
that's
find that.
Hey,
unconfirmed.
bro.
Don't take that for fact. But Max, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo a little bit of Omar what he said about kind of the expectations for Brown and how people, including myself, I'll be so honest, I'll include myself in this. I don't think coming into this season I would have said that Jaylen Brown could lead a team like this.
Yeah, we we
But
we
to
all.
be honest, the signs have been there. When I think back to that 2024 championship run, he was the best player in the playoffs for that team. Now, was that because Tatum was willing to take a step back to be a system player under Missoula, no ego there, let Brown run the show at times. I think that's part of it. It took some cooperation from Tatum. I think Tatum could have easily had he could have doubled his stats in that playoff run if he really wanted to. Don't know if they would have won a title, but Brown was legitimately the best player in that conference finals when they beat the Indiana Pacers, won conference finals MVP for his work. I think he was the deserving finals MVP, Yeah. Maybe Tatum was the more talented player on that team, but if you look at that series, efficiency-wise, volume-wise, hitting shots when they needed big shots, that was Jaylen Brown. So
Facts.
Perhaps I was disrespecting him a little too much coming into this season, thinking that when Tatum is not there, he's going to stay kind of the level of production that maybe we saw last year when he was playing alongside Tatum. Clearly, he is that guy, and I think it's a good point in his career. I forget exactly how old he is, but, he's in his late 20s. This is his statistical prime. Could he have done this 5 years ago? Probably not, but I think this Jaylen Brown that we're seeing now that is moving closer to a veteran than he is a young player. He's been around. He is a champion. He's a finals MVP. He was equipped to take this on, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for it. Will this continue? I'm going to say when Tatum comes back, because it looks like he will play this season. That would be what my money's on. Can he continue this when Tatum comes back? It might be a similar case to where he takes a step back to get Tatum, back up to speed. But if Tatum is not himself, if he's out there and maybe 80 or 90% not able to be a 45-point player in the playoffs like he was last year, just capable of dropping 40 and 10 any given night, it would not shock me if the Celtics go into the playoffs, because they will be in the playoffs. It wouldn't shock me if they go into the playoffs and Jaylen Brown continues to be their best player and puts up similar stats, if anything, on better efficiencies, because playing next to Tatum, even if Tatum's not 100%, I think is going to allow him to take better shots. So I give Brown a lot of credit. He can, he's shown he can take over. He can be a driving force. He can be the engine for the Celtics team. And, you can think about if he never got drafted next to Tatum, would Jaylen Brown be a superstar? Would he be someone we talk about in top 5 MVP year in, year out? Maybe, but I think he's definitely top 5 right now.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that's...
Did you ever find that quote?
No, I think it was... No, I didn't research it.
Okay. All right. Well, if you guys know the quote, please share the link in the comments.
Yeah, please.
Below.
If it's not there, it doesn't exist. I may be talking out of my ass.
Share in the comments, but feel free to just let us know your thoughts on Jaylen Brown, the Celtics, anything we talked about in this video. As always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're going to come out with a bunch more of this kind of content soon. Appreciate everyone for watching. Have a good rest of your day, y'all.